Hi guys, it's me and I'm coming back with just a quick video about what's next. So I've still been dealing a lot with different things with the body types and thinking through the style report that I got, and I didn't mention it because it just in the shuffle I'd actually ordered two style reports and I was going to use the second one as a surprise to say, hey, surprise, got totally different results and what do you guys think? But in between, because it was like a lag of time between when I would get one and when I would get the other, I just started having an epiphany about how I was thinking about body types and maybe how I should be thinking about it. What I had been thinking was that I'd be able to go through this process and get some clarification, and that would help me to be more focused in my shopping. And in that way, I'd have a better chance at curating a wardrobe that was like designed for me in a sense, and that would look better and that I would really like. But what I really started thinking was that the process of the trial and error shouldn't be hastened. Like, I shouldn't really rush past that, because I think having someone tell you what you should wear can be good and can be useful, and I think there's a place for that. But knowing what you should wear because you've sort of developed your own ideas about what you should wear is probably more valuable. I also was having a lot of anxiety around losing my own personal style. And that's, something that I really do place a high value on. And because of that, I feel like I'm just going to have to be more intentional. I'm going to have to take more time. And I think that's, by the way, I'm sitting next to my old shoe rack, and there's shoes on here that I still think are cute, that I still think are great. But this rack is one thing that will be going away. Yeah, because I have too many shoes. A lot of these I haven't been able to wear in a long time. And some of them, the leather's even started to get a little crunchy because I haven't stored them well. Like, really a big part of my life where I had to sort of set myself aside and like sort of trying to achieve this goal of becoming a mom. And when you're in IVF, you're not always like wearing 5 or 6 inch heels or 5 inch heels really and tottering around. And you know, there's a lot of times when you don't feel well. There's just a lot going on, and so like a lot of this stuff just did not get used. And I think that's fine. And it doesn't mean that I won't be wearing tottering around 3 or 4 inch heels again at some point. But right now, that's not really where I am because I have a toddler, and chasing a toddler in 4 inch heels is probably a bigger challenge than I'm up for. Having said that, what I'm aiming to do right now is to greatly reduce my wardrobe. So I have 26 bins of clothing, shoes, and bags, and that's just unacceptable to me personally, how I feel about things. Also, a lot of the things I just simply will never wear again. They've been in the basement in bins close to a decade. Some of the things just because I put them down and I just forgot about them and never went back. Some of the things still have tags on them, but some of the things for having moldered in my basement are just like, they smell musty, they feel dry, elastic on some things. It's just like deteriorated. So there's a lot of things that are not even in a condition to be given away. So I think that whole concept of storing my things down there is just not great. Clearly it doesn't work. I forget about things. So it's not a functional plan for me. It's like, realistically, it doesn't work. What I want to do is just have a wardrobe that remains in my room, that is streamlined, is that I'm not going back and forth storing things. At the most, maybe I will put sweaters in the drawer under my bed, but like, I don't want to be switching things in and out. And frankly, the past several years, that's kind of how I've lived anyway. Thus, why the things have remained in the basement. The number of items is a challenge for me. I know a lot of people say 35 is a great way to start sort of a capsule wardrobe. And so what I'm looking at is doing sort of an expanded capsule, a capsule-esque wardrobe, a nod to minimalism, not necessarily just going whole hog, because I don't know that I even could function that way. I don't want it to be a situation where I'm struggling to sort of make the capsule work. Well, I've just started back online college and I'm managing a toddler. It's just, I don't want to be extending myself that far. But what I am going to do is perhaps get it down to maybe 60 items, 60, 65, 70 at a stretch. And that's also because I live in New York and the weather is super changeable, and I want to have options for that as well. What will not be counted towards that number will be things like camisoles. I know that they can also second as tops and as part of, your wardrobe, but I'm going to put them in the underwear zone. And yes, but to be frank, in the past, I've used bras as part of my outfit, wearing a jacket or a blazer over just a really nice bra. So, in my past, underwear can be clothing anyway. Um, Other things that won't be in that will be accessories. So I'm not counting any jewelry. I'm not counting necklaces, rings. I'm not counting anything like that. Just because I just don't want to, that's just not the road that I want to go. I won't be counting bags. I will count shoes, but I think this is going to be a struggle for me too, clearly. That's totally cool. Another thing that I will not be counting will be hats. And again, I live in NYC. We can be like 80 degrees one day and 30 the next. Hats are also something that's really important to me, and I'm glad to be back at a mind frame where I'm happy to be wearing them again. So I don't want to limit myself with something I'm just starting to explore again after about 5 years. Yeah, so everything else I think for the most part is going to be fair game for being counted. So tops, sweaters, bottoms, dresses, and jackets and outerwear are going to be sort of like the main bulk of what I'm counting. And obviously, I'm going to be putting this on my Instagram where I'm going to be posting every single day of what I'm wearing, and probably doing one video every week about the things that I've worn over the week. So hopefully that will help me get a better idea of the things that I'm more attracted to, the things that I'm liking, and sort of like the style that I'm liking to build. So that's it. I think this is going to be disappearing. It doesn't make sense to be making room. It's to sort of even visually be having them in my door every day, taking up space, to be honest with you, when I could just have a more open space here and not be sort of bumping into these every day. I'm not going to be wearing them. I don't want to see them. So yeah, that's it, guys. And I think my next check-in will probably be either right before I start or it will be the first week, because I'm literally about 4 days away from starting. So yes, I'm very excited about this new journey. I've had many journeys in the past few years, and they've all brought me to a better place as a person. So I don't think this will be any different. I'm really, really excited, and I'm glad to be sharing this. So I will be seeing you guys later. Bye.